Hello, fairy tale things. It's day 26, and I am one with the ogre. How did this happen, you ask? Well, it all started one fateful day when I went to my local spirit Halloween and was going to make a regular video review that started like this. It's that special time of year when all of us living in towns with lots of shuttered businesses and dilapidated storefronts get magical costume shops. Special thanks to all the viewers that reached out to me and told me I needed to go to a spirit this year because I almost didn't. See, last year they had a new Shrek costume, and I bought it. It was the only Shrek item they had, other than, I believe, a Fiona costume, and it sold out quickly and became very rare. I did make a video on that costume. I believe it was called, How Shrek Made Me Lose My Sanity, or something like that. I'll link it in the video. But basically, I talked about how the Shrek costumes were only aimed at adults, and now I feel very old. And this year, Spirit has expanded on their Shrek range of products. I did a YouTube short showing off some of the new stuff they had. There's a Lord Farquaad costume. There's a Shrek choker for the ladies, and lots of Princess Fiona jewelry. And my takeaway from this new Shrek product launch is that this is a response to the Shrek raves. This seems to be stuff made for you to go to the Shrek rave in, which I think is great. I think it's wonderful that those fan experiences are having not only a positive impact in the Shrek fandom, but also the merchandise as well, you know? If they make it and people buy it, I support it. Now, I didn't need to buy the Shrek costume since the one is just a re-release of the Tough to Get one from last year, which is great because I did give that costume a positive review, and if you've been wanting to get it, now you can head to your local spirit and buy it. They should have plenty. Mine had 15 of them. But that is not what's in this bag. I didn't buy any of the jewelry or chokers. I'm sorry, I just have no need for that sort of thing. But I did buy this bad boy right here, the one and only Shrek Mask. I wanted a Shrek Mask for some time, and they did make them back in the day. God, I think the last one we got was 15 years ago? It would have been when Shrek Forever After came out. And they do make bootlegs now, but they're rough. And this one was quality. It wasn't cheap. This thing goes for $60, but if you're savvy, you can get some Spirit coupons. They send out online. You can get 20, 30% off depending on where you live. So I think I only paid $40 for this. And how could I say no? You get the full Shrek head and even the ogre hands, which really surprised me. I think the last time they released the ogre hands would have been, I think Hasbro with the 2004 release. So 20 years we've been denied ogre digits. Now we have them. And there's actually quite a bit to talk about with this mask. So let's just get right into it. This is brand new. It's a new sculpt. If you look at the old ones, it has nothing in common with them. This one looks a lot nicer, a lot more on model, from the ears being fully detailed and sculpted to the details of the skin, the eyebrows being much more highlighted this time around, which I don't mind at all. I've said before that the large eyebrows on Shrek were designed to look like Mike Myers' eyebrows, so we'll compare this with Mike Myers. What do you think? Is it a match? Then it's good. The mouth is nicely detailed, and we do have some mesh to see out of here in both the mouth and the eyes. And that is pretty interesting. Previous releases just had the holes you could see out of. This one has mesh eyes, which is pretty funny. On this channel in the past, I have reviewed many fursuit heads. I am a furry. I don't care what people say. I have no shame. I love to wear costumes and fursuit. I fursuited at conventions for days on end. And let me tell you, as a fursuiter, mesh eyes over anything else. Even just plain holes, there's just something much more real about the mesh. When you wear a mask or a fursuit and you can see the human eyes in there, it's a little creepy. It's a little unsettling. So it's interesting to see Spirit kind of co-opting something that was sort of made mainstream by fursuit makers. Folks, does this count as a Shrek fursuit because of the mesh eyes? You tell me. But This looks an awful lot like the fursuit eyes from Beans and Things, my favorite fursuit maker that I have been buying eyes from for like the past 6-7 years. So that is pretty hilarious. Also, this time around, Spirit Halloween is actually selling fursuit heads. And I'm not saying like animal heads you could wear and tell yourself you're a furry, like actual real knockoff fursuit heads made in the signature furry style. That is funny because if you recall, I did a video a while back on how to take a Spirit Halloween mask and turn it into a fursuit. I guess that video is obsolete now that they're selling their own heads as fursuits. Maybe somebody high up at Spirit Halloween watched my video, right, and decided to make those. But either way, Shrek is now taking in a bit of the furry influence. And I did try this on at the store, and I will say it's very comfy. You can see out of it easily. So as somebody that wears a lot of costumes, this gets my thumbs up. And don't worry, we're gonna try it on later and have a little show. But first, I do want to talk a bit about the mask and its branding, because a lot of the new Shrek merchandise has been following these kind of new Shrek guidelines, I guess you would call them. What I mean by that is that the way companies make Shrek products has changed. So if you look at this old Shrek doll here that is Minty Mint from 20 years ago, you can instantly see some differences in the skin tone most noticeably, but also the eyebrows. So new Shrek merch seems to have the eyebrows much thicker and darker, and the skin much, much lighter. Now, in the actual movies, Shrek's skin did lighten across the 4 films because the lighting with each movie got better as the 3D animation progressed. Compare a scene in Shrek 4 to Shrek 1, the difference is night and day. So naturally, the merchandise would change because of that, but this is very drastic, as you can see. Shrek's pigment has completely changed. I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about this. I'm an OG Shrek fan, so I'm going to be adverse to change, but I think we'll give it time, and I will get used to it. I do also have the new Shrek figure here, and you'll notice this one follows the same rules. So both of these are releases from this year, and you can see the lighter green with the darker eyebrows. So clearly this is some sort of new guideline that Universal, the new owner of Shrek, is putting forth. So it's interesting to see Shrek evolve over time and receive new merchandise. And hey, I am just happy to see a new high-quality Shrek mask made with the modern-day advancements in both sculpting, comfort, and accuracy, all thanks to the furry community. But yeah, I think if they had just re-released the older Shrek mask from like 2007 or 8, I think the last time they updated it was when Shrek the Third came out. I'm sure they could have just reissued it and people would have bought it, but I wouldn't have, because I want new and fresh, and as we are kind of on this road to Shrek 5, I love to see not only new merchandise, but merchandise moving forward and slowly becoming better with time. So yeah. Oh, one last thing I do want to talk about is the card here. It is a little different from what we've been seeing. A lot of the merchandise has just been plain white with like Shrek's head. This one kind of mixes things up. We have the forest background from the original film. I believe this is when Princess Fiona is battling Robin Hood. These are the pine trees. So interesting choice, but if you don't want to open this up and kind of display it on your like wall, at least the header card would have some variety. And it just says Shrek, and then I like how it just says Shrek again in Helvetica, in case you didn't know. But if you do want to display this, there's another option you have. Now let's say you've got a mega Shrek collection like I do, and you're not comfortable with dressing up in costumes. I mean, if so, what's wrong with you? But you can actually make a cool display piece out of this mask anyways. This is a professional mannequin head. I find them often at my local flea markets and thrift stores. Just keep a sharp eye and they'll show up. And you can display this head and make a pretty cool display piece. So we're just gonna open this up here. So I don't know about you, but this is a pretty awesome display piece. And if you go to Spirit Halloween, you can snag this for pretty cheap. Now, the mask retails for $60, which is a little high for a rubber mask. But when you consider the quality of it, that the thing is a full 360 degrees mask with those high quality mesh eyes, I think that justifies the price point. Now, select Spirit stores are offering a coupon. Mine was. So just ask the cashier or manager, are you guys offering a coupon? And they can give it to you. The manager at mine was very kind and gave me 20% off of mine just because I asked about the coupon. And I was able to nab this for $40. And for $40, this is a stunning display piece. I'm going to have to rework some of the Shrek collection here just so I could give this bad boy some space to be seen. You know, look for it in the next video, right? The Shrek collection is always evolving and always changing, but already this is a home run simply on displayability. Masks can look really cool when displayed. I know people are very into Halloween collecting. I've collected fursuit heads for some time, so to add a Shrek mask into the collection that isn't just some cheap Halloween mask, but actually a nice high-quality piece is great. This is kind of one of those Shrek bucket list items I can cross off. At this rate, we may have the ultimate Shrek collection before Shrek 5 even releases. But yeah, so the Shrek Spirit Mask is highly recommended. I would say pick it up for the diehard and the casual fans. And for the ladies watching, they do also have some really nice Princess Fiona gear. Not just the costume, but they actually have a replica crown and her necklace. So do pick those up because this stuff doesn't last long. And before you know it, it's on the secondhand market for expensive prices. So now comes the fun part. We get to try it on.
Oh, hello there! Shrek! 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 Shrek!
Shrek! Shrek! What? Maybe there's a good reason Donkey shouldn't talk. I don't get it, Shrek. Why'd you just pull some of that older stuff on him? You know, threaten him, lay siege to his fortress, grind his bones to make you bread. You know the whole ogre trip. Oh, I know what. Maybe I could have decapitated an entire village and put their heads on a plate. Got the knife.
And then I became Shrek. Everything I eat tastes like onion. Even the chocolate cake tasted like onion. And it was a layered chocolate cake. Layered. When I turned on the shower, it was mud instead of water. This is my swampy fate, and I accept it. Oh yes, I accept it. It is my happily ever after. Donkey. Viewers, I mean, not donkeys. Oh my god. There's no going back now. I am officially the Shrek. Have a happily ever after. Why did I make a Halloween video in the middle of September? It's like 1,000 goddamn degrees.